Plumeria. Welcome to Varanasi. Chaotico. It's the White Magical Tiger tuning in from Varanasi. Absolutely chaotic. My driver had to drop me off right in the middle of this intersection. But I think it's very fitting that there's a cross, a church right there. Just Yeshua just let me know, like, yo, it's chaotico here, but it's gonna be all right. That's the message I take right here. It just because my taxi from the hotel is just like, we can't take you all the way there. We gotta drop you off here. This guy's going in for a selfie. That guy was trying to take a photo of me. I feel like sometimes how Hollywood actors and actresses feel with like paparazzi. A lot of people want to take selfies with me. Yeah, I definitely stand out right now. All right, y'all, doing some late night exploring. All right, y'all, I found the Ganges. It only took me a couple minutes to get out here. I could just tell energetically that this is a pretty special place, y'all. Man, this building just looks absolutely epic. And there's a yogi. There's a deaf yogi right over there. One of the first things I noticed. Pretty sweet. Seems like a big party's going on down there. Kind of like this angle. It's more like a silhouette. It looks pretty dope. So I had a lot of hesitation coming to this place. So right now I'm in Varanasi. It's also known as Benares, and apparently the British, they named it Benares, and then but the original name was Varanasi, and so they eventually ended up switching it back to Varanasi from Benares. But when I thought about India, when I would think about this place, I actually felt a lot of fear. Now, coming to India, for years, I've heard about this place called Varanasi. And I heard it's just so intense, like this is where they cremate the bodies, this is where they burn the dead bodies. And I was just very intimidated about coming here. And I was just like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna actually come here. I was just like, all these things. And then I was just like, dude, I'm in India, like, I got to come here. And the more I researched into it, a lot of Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, that amazing spiritual book, a lot of the stories are here in Benares. They're in Varanasi. And one of his gurus, Lahiri Mahasaya, he has a temple here, and he has a home here, which I'm going to visit either tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow. And I just want to say that when I got here, like when I was driving through the city, normally like the chaos of Delhi, of Vrindavan, of Agra, of Jaipur, even the chaos of Rishikesh, just like all the noises, all the beeping, all the honking, all the cars cutting in front of each other, the cows on the road, just the chaos of India, it would just get to me, make me grumpy, or just like kind of get to my mind. But here, and on the way from the airport to here, I just felt this joy in my heart. I just felt this warmth in my heart, this love, like this comfort, and just being here on the Ganges River as well, and going to that arti ceremony that I documented. I could just feel this joyful, warm sensation in my Anahata heart chakra area, and also a sensation right here in the third eye as well. And I'm like, I don't normally buy round-trip tickets, but for this I bought a round-trip ticket because I thought this place is going to be too intense for me. I just got to get in, get out. And so today's Friday, and I have a ticket leaving on Monday, and I'm just like, dude, I think I got to change my ticket. I'm like, this place is pretty awesome. I'm really digging it. And so I got to the hotel, and one of the first things he asked me is like, do you want to go on the 4:30 a.m. Boat ride? And it's like, how could I say no to that? I mean, well, it's 4:30 a.m., but you know, what a unique experience. And so, yeah, the journey continues. Mata Ananda Mai Gat. Ma Ananda Mai Gat. Very strangely, I'm getting used to the chaos. I'm feeling one with it. It's not as overwhelming. But I gotta say, the Jesus prayer, the chanting of the Jesus prayer, definitely helps me keep my cool. I'm just like kind of just working on the surrendering and just being like, yeah, it's completely chaotic, but it's part of the experience. Check this out. This is Lahiri Mahasaya's house, the guru of Swami Sri Yukteswarji. He's the guru of Paramahansa Yogananda. And Lahiri Mahasaya was initiated into Kriya Yoga by Babaji Krishna. And Babaji Krishna is working with Jesus Christ to essentially bring enlightenment to the world. Essentially, Jesus Christ is the invisible but popular. Everyone knows Jesus, but he's invisible. But Babaji is visible in the body, but people don't really know him. So Babaji Krishna and Jesus Christ are bringing this Christ-Krishna crystalline consciousness into the world. God bless you. So apparently this is where Lahiri Mahasaya and all his disciples, devotees, they would practice Kriya Yoga. I'm here a little bit early, but they open up at 10:30 a.m. So I'd love to come back here later and practice some of the Kriya Yoga. Namaste. Namaste, y'all. The White Magical Tiger. So this is the temple, possibly the house, of a yogi named Tai Long Swami. This is called the Tai Long Swami Ashram. Ashram is kind of like a dormitory for monks and nuns. And in there was a statue of Kali. And so I was meditating in there, and I was meditating on the Holy Rosary, because when I pray to Mary, I recognize Sophia, wisdom, divine mother, heavenly mother, incarnate within inside of her. And essentially there's a statue that the Knights Templars would have. It was called the Black Madonna. Now my best guess for the Black Madonna is that it's a mixture between Kali and Mother Mary, and it's Sophia. So Sophia within Kali and Sophia within Mother Mary. So Kali Sophia and Mary Sophia. And so that may or may not be correct. I'd love to hear y'all's comments in the section below, but this dude, Tai Long Swami, claims to have lived to 300 years old, a 300-year-old yogi. And there's he's written about in the autobiography of a yogi, and it talks about him essentially like being underwater, like just like meditating underwater for long periods of time, and just these feats that are just like deemed humanly impossible. But essentially he was just showing that we can evolve our consciousness and become the Superman, the Superwoman, just like Yeshua was saying, where he says, is it not written in your law, ye are gods? and he was referring to Psalms chapter 82 verse 6, where it says, ye are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. And he also says, the works that I do, you'll be able to do the same works and more because I go to the Father. And by works, he meant miracles. So he says, the miracles I do, you should be able to do the same miracles and more because I go to the Father. And by Father, he meant cosmic consciousness, that his Christ consciousness was going to merge with the cosmic consciousness of the Father. As far as I know, this yogi here is Christ Krishna conscious, showing that we can evolve. We can evolve from man to superman, from woman to superwoman, to that realization, that self-realization that we really are the divine children of the God, Goddess, that we are all gods and goddesses, the children of Heavenly Mother, Heavenly Father. And so, yeah, may God bless all y'all. Namaste. Alrighty, y'all. Namaste. It's the White Magical Tiger, the undercover hippie evangelist. So today I'm outside of a temple. It's a Lahiri Mahasaya's temple. And if y'all are familiar with the book Autobiography of a Yogi, several parts in this book take place in this city called Varanasi. And so I want to read from y'all a couple parts from this book that are straight out of this temple right here. So the first one's from chapter 2. And this one is essentially when Yogananda's mother, his mother and father, brought him to the temple, and essentially Lahiri Mahasaya blessed baby Yogananda. So I'll just start right here. So this is when his mother's dying and she's sharing something with him. Let these words be my final blessing, my beloved son Mukunda. Mother had said, the hour is here when I must relate a number of phenomenal events following your birth. I first knew your destined path when you were but a babe in my arms. I carried you then to the home of my guru in Benares, which is another name for Varanasi, which is where I am now. Almost hidden behind a throng of disciples, I could barely see Lahiri Mahasaya, who's essentially the yogis whose temple this is, and he sat in deep meditation. While I patted you, I was praying that the great guru take notice and bestow a blessing as my silent devotional demand grew in intensity. He opened his eyes and beckoned me to approach. The others made a way for me. I bowed at the sacred feet. Lahiri Mahasaya seated you on his lap, placing his hand on your forehead by way of spiritually baptizing you. Little mother, thy son will be a yogi, referring to Yogananda. As a spiritual engine, he will carry many souls to God's kingdom. My heart leaped with joy to find my secret prayer granted by the omniscient guru. Shortly before your birth, he had told me you would follow his path.
Hello?
No problem.
No problem.
Krishna, Christ, Guru, surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna